FLUX 3 just dropped, and I need to talk about this one. Robin Rombach's actual launch line is the Thesis. A model that only learns images can only generate images, but the world is not made of still frames. And these clips are his proof. Here's the simple version. FLUX 3 is trained to understand images, video, and audio together. Action comes from the same backbone, so basically it learns one scene, what it looks like, how it moves, and what it should sound like. That is the real idea behind this launch, not 4 disconnected tools, one model trying to keep the world consistent. This is BFL's own test, not an independent leaderboard. In 10-second 720p clips with audio, FLUX 3 won 52% of votes against Gemini and Seedance. That is basically even. It reached 60 against Kling, 69 against Grok, and 77 against Runway. Then comes the headline, 93% against Luma Ray 3.2. Promising? Yes. Conclusive? No, we still need the prompts, sample count, costs, queue times, and failure rate. This horse matters for one reason: hoof beats, leg motion, and the storm all have to land together. Watch the front legs. The writer stays readable even as the camera pulls way back. That is where video models usually lose identity and geometry. This is motion at several scales. One crest, fine spray, and foam underneath. The break is the part worth watching. This is bad camcorder footage, and that is exactly why it is useful. Rain, handlebars, spray, and a shaky camera expose perspective errors fast. This clip is only 4 seconds. Mirrors make the test brutal. Reflections, dancers, chandeliers, and the room all need to agree. And this is the style test. It keeps the handmade clay look while the character, tools, and contact points stay readable. Great range, but these are still curated samples, not a hit rate test. The bigger story is FLUX-mimic. The same backbone is being used for robot actions on manufacturing tasks at Audi. The simple version is this. Video generation predicts what should happen next on screen. Robot control also has to predict what should happen next, but then turn that prediction into a physical action. Here, the system handles kitting tasks, flexible seals, and cables. Those are awkward materials for conventional automation because they bend, shift, and rarely sit in exactly the same position twice. Watch the contact point. The robot has to understand the object, the next movement, and the result of that movement as one continuous problem. This is not another pretty clip. It is the strongest clue that FLUX 3 is meant to become a world model, not just a video feature. So what does this actually change for creators? For editors, native audio means fewer separate passes just to make movement and sound feel connected. For marketing teams, one model can carry the same idea from a still image into motion without rebuilding the visual language from scratch. And for product teams, reference images and multi-shot chains make consistency a workflow problem instead of a one-prompt gamble. The practical win is not that every first generation will be perfect. It is that image, motion, and sound can start from the same creative decision. That means fewer handoffs, faster comparisons, and a cleaner path from concept to a finished sequence. The image is still an early preview. For video, one generation can run up to 20 seconds. BFL says visual references can connect those clips into sequences lasting several minutes while keeping characters consistent between shots. Worth saying, several minutes does not mean one giant generation. It means connected shots, with references carrying the subject and style from one clip into the next. Quick heads up, this part is sponsored by Promptus. Promptus puts closed-source, API-based, and supported open-source models in one place. You can use cloud models, run supported local workflows, and save repeatable production setups instead of rebuilding every prompt from scratch. FLUX 3 is available now on Promptus. 4 quick answers. Is FLUX 3 available now? Yes. FLUX 3 video is in early access through Black Forest Labs, and FLUX 3 is available on Promptus. Can you run it locally? Not as an open-weight local FLUX-3 model yet. Current access is through hosted services and AP is. BFL says an open-weight development backbone is planned later. How does it compare with other video models? In BFL's own test, it scored 77% against Runway and 93% against Luma. Against Seedance and Gemini, it was only 52%. Strong signal, not an independent verdict. What actually makes it different? Image, video, and audio are trained together. The goal is for the picture, movement, and sound to agree because they come from one understanding of the scene. So basically, FLUX-3 is not just a video model. It is one system tying image, motion, sound, and action together. The samples are strong, their test is promising, not independent, and the robotics work is the bigger story. That is FLUX-3 today. Try it through Promptus at the direct link in the description and subscribe for the next independent test.